8, verse 16, the Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Barakatah Yahweh.
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 Bahasham.
Bahasham.
Rakah. Kodash.
Kodash.
Double honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone, still well. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, your brothers out there that's pushing his word in truth and in sincerity. All right, with the brothers in Great Millstone, Mississippi. All right, I'm the brother Kazak to my leftist. All right, and we going to the scriptures dealing with the tribes Gad and Reuben, which is what you call so-called Native Americans today. You know, people call them Native American Indians, but their biblical nationalities are Gad and Reuben. You know, all right, they are two of the tribes of the nation of Israel, which the nation of Israel in its entirety consists of 12 tribes, you know, which Gad and Reuben are a part of. Okay, so, you know, we're going to get into this, man, and Lord will y'all edified. Now, say something real quick, bro. Yeah, now we're shooting. It's crazy. That's Satan. God damn.
Oh, this.
What is?
Yeah, it's comical. You record.
Come record. You didn't do this before. Hey, Slaki, bear with us, brothers. You just close it out.
No, I just said. I don't know, brother. Yeah, we just
What, bro?
Well, I ain't never be over here.
It's Satan mad as hell.
But what I do since I got my stuff pulled up,
Yeah.
we just record on yours and I just pull these tabs up and read.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, we
just run with yours.
God damn, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, Salaki brothers, you know, we having technical difficulties. You know, it really came out of nowhere. You know, we know where it's coming from because somebody mad. They got to do their job. You know, just like we're doing our job. But basically, once again, we're going to the prophecies dealing with Gad and Reuben. You know, the brother, he's gonna pull up a video of the one Gadite artist. You know, he's a rapper. He's called Superman. So you brothers have heard of him, but you see the spirit on him. I mean, it's evident. Like, you know, this has to be an Israelite. You go ahead and get Romans.
It's back in Romans. All right, chapter 8, verse 16. It said, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Right. So you see it. The Spirit itself, which is what? The Word. You know? Bears witness with our spirit. So this word, it resonates with a particular group of people on the earth. The Israelites, so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans, so-called Hispanics, people of Negroid and American Indian descent. You know, the indigenous peoples of North, Central, and South America and the Caribbean islands, all right? And the so-called Negroes that were brought over here on cargo slave ships. These make up the 12 tribes of Israel from their respective tribes, okay? So this word resonates with us. We the people of the book, you know? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there you have it. You got it, bro.
No, just the book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 10. It said, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, You are the children of the living power."
We're seeing it happen right now in real time, okay? You're witnessing the mass awakening of the 12 tribes of Israel, all right? The mass awakening of the 12 tribes of Israel. And the place where it was said unto us, we're not the Israelites, calling us black, calling us a Native American, calling us a Hispanic, you know, whatever they want to call us, you know, these innumerable bywords, you know, and proverbs, you know, they did that, you know what I'm saying? But what happened? The Lord sent down the Holy Spirit, you know, from the heavens, and now we woke up, okay? Now we're being called sons of the living power, basically Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're all being called Israelites, man. And that not only includes so-called blacks, they include so-called Native Americans as well. You know? You got it, brother. Whatever you about to get.
Come on, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 12. And it says, "Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last."
Right. Gad, a troop shall overcome him. Now, Gad itself, you got the Hebrew word Gad, it literally means troop. You know? Gad means troop. You know, because the tribe of Gad is basically one of our warrior tribes. You know? They will represent, you know, the Marine force of Israel, so to speak. You had Gad, Reuben, and the half tribe of Manasseh. You know, bro was mentioning that earlier. Those like the Marines of our nation. You know? Now you have warriors from all 12 tribes, but you know, these tribes in particular, these were our main warrior tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Gad, Reuben, and the half tribe Manasseh. But going back to Gad, say Gad, a troop shall overcome him. You know? And what was that troop? The American cavalry. You know? Overcame Gad, and Gad witnessed really the worst oppression by these devils. Now, we were all oppressed. You know, we're all oppressed. You look at, you know, the condition of our people, from the so-called Negro all the way down to the so-called Mexican, we're all messed up. You know, you look at Judah in the hood, Judah is all messed up. But look at Gad. Now, see, Gad, they're oppressed in their own house, so to speak, because when you look at Canada and North America, you know, this was their land before Esau came over here. You know, once again, dealing with the British, you know, the American cavalry. Look what they did to our people. You know, they put them on reservations, which are basically concentration camps, and they make it to where like everything is on the reservation. You know, the reservation is like its own city, so to speak. You know, you technically don't have to leave. They got everything for you on their reservation, but it's basically a concentration camp. And when you look at the condition of Gad on these reservations, they're all messed up, man. You know, and basically they're under the same curses that we're under. You just don't hear about it. You know, but it said, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Can you get the Yeah, you got it, bro.
Mm-hmm. All right, now this is the same scripture. All right, Genesis 49 and 12, but this is going to be an American, all right, standard version.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and it says, Gad, a troop shall press upon him, but he shall press upon their heel.
Right. So Gad, which we understand is so-called North American Indians today, you know, but see, it's a separation. Now we say North American Indians and Native Americans, but there's a difference between Gad and Reuben, and we're going into it in this lesson. Okay. But Gad, a troop shall press upon him. Press, that's where you get the word oppress, oppression. But it says, But he, referring to Gad, shall press upon their heels, which goes back to what? The prophecy of Jacob overtaking Esau, us pulling them down. Remember how Jacob's hand held onto Esau's heel? It took hold to Esau's heel, represents us pulling them down, man. You know, you got something you want to add?
Just reading the another version. This the New King James version. It says, "Gad, a troop shall tramp upon him, but he shall triumph at the last."
Mm-hmm.
And they're speaking of these times.
Yep.
All right, because you're gonna have elect. All right, from on the tribe of Gad. You know, there's gonna be 12,000. All right, of Gad. All right, there's 12,000 Gadites. You know, it's gonna overcome the same people that overcame them because everyone's back in their lot.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and that's how, you know, through reincarnation, the Most High executes perfect judgment in the earth, man. You know, so those same Gadite troops, you know, that was overcome, you know, overwhelmed, you know, by the American cavalry, you know, mainly due to that Gatling gun,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because it was it was an automatic, you know, shooting gun. He was a fully automatic, you know, because before then, you know, Gad was getting the best, you know, of Esau, man. You know, due to what? Their guerrilla warfare. And I got another one, you know, to let you know that Gad, you know, was the you know, that was his strong point, was guerrilla warfare. Now when you get to Chronicles chapter 12, First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 8, and it says, "And the Gadites there separated themselves unto David into the whole to the wilderness, men of might and men of war, fit for battle, that could handle shield and buckler, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as the roes upon the mountains."
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and it says their faces were the face of lions. Now, you don't see that exactly in this picture, but you know, you see some of it. You know, just that very austere look that Gad had, but they had that war paint, you know, and you see that in a lot of old Western movies. You know, you'll see a lot of Gadites, they have the war paint on their face, you know, so they would actually have a face as the appearance of lions. And they would terrify the hell out of Esau, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But you got it, brother.
And they separated themselves in the wilderness. You know, that was
they said they guerrilla warfare.
Yep, that's their guerrilla warfare. You know, because you go into how a lion hunt. You know, a lion, you know, was very stealth. You know, and then said Gad was quick. You know, was swift as a roe. Yep. All right, and the Gadites had the games. You know, they would play games. You know, with those European troops. You know, where they will run and touch them on the shoulder. You know. And dip off, and they would shoot at him. But see, Gad was so quick they couldn't hit him.
Yep.
You know, so it was an actual game that Gad used to play with those soldiers, where they would run and tap them on the shoulder and go back in the hide, man.
Yep.
You know, so when you go in, like even with particular athletes today, you know, if you brothers get a chance, look up the guy Jim Thorpe. Now he was a Gadite, you know. And even Esau said he's the best athlete that there ever was. You know, you don't hear a lot about him now, but you look up Jim Thorpe, you know, and he ran track, he played in NFL, you know, he did some of everything. You see? And even though I was looking before we started, Joe Louis was a guy like the boxer, you know, and then you look at these particular athletes today, especially a lot of those athletes in the West Coast, you know, like Deshaun Jackson, he's from California. You know, but you can look at his features and tell, you know, he's a Gadite. You know,
what about Stephen Curry?
Yeah, he's extremely fast. You know, extremely fast, man.
There's a Scottie Pippen.
Yep. You know, which he's extremely skillful. You see, yep. Say Chuck Berry. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson was.
Yeah, he had to get info on Michael Jackson came out. He was Gad.
So you know, Gad is an Israelite because there's a lot of people that's around us that. You know, they look. You would think it's just a regular Negro. That's a Gadite. Even like Deshaun Watson. You know, you look at his facial features. You know, you can tell. You know, he descended from Gadite, from Gad. You know, but Gad is described. You know, you know, to be swift. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's a lot of things. Russell Westbrook. You know.
Yeah.
You know
I heard that
he was a Gadite. You know, but they known to be swift. But you look at, You know, like I say, look up Jim Thorpe. You know, you brothers get a chance. You know, which is a Gadite, but they say you like one of the best athletes ever. You know.
And I want to say, when I went to one of these so-called Indian mound sites, you know, because they have the pictographs, and they'll, you know, show you what they used to do around those mound sites. But basically, they show how Gad basically invented the game of basketball. They show, you know, they had a hoop, you know, and they used to you know, hit this ball and make it go in the hoop. You know, used to throw it. You know what I'm saying? But on the on the pictograph, they basically didn't say it was basketball, but you could put it together. Like you know, oh, okay, this is where that came from. You know what I'm saying? But of course, here in you know, Edomite supremacy, you know, in the West, you see that Esau, he makes it as if he came up with all these different games, you know, which are reenactments of war. You know, that's all sports is. You know what I'm saying? But hey, going back to the prophecy, like brother had read, Gad was known for being swift on the mountains. And once again, you see that in a lot of old Western movies, but they actually was doing that and getting the best of Esau. But what did Esau do? Like brother said, they would use the Gatling gun. They also use you know, disease warfare, you know, smallpox, you know, putting in the blankets, you know. They commit a lot of heinous crimes against our people, man. You know, but the thing is, the mystery is, the people still here. You know what I'm saying? Because see, they want to act as if the only Gadites you see are on the reservations. Now, when you deal with the Trail of Tears, you know, when you go back to what happened, you know, their migration from the southeastern part of the United States all the way, you know, to the west, you know, there was a scattering out of our people, basically. There was nothing but a diaspora. Now, you had a lot of our people die, but at the same time, you know, Jake is known for basically making any place stay home. You know what I'm saying? As a whole, we're a nomadic people. You know what I'm saying? We're known for being, you know, pilgrim-like, you know? So a lot of people that you may think face value are so-called Negroes today really are Gad. And also Reuben. We gonna get into that too. You got it, bro.
Yeah, I just show that picture. You know, brothers can see it. See if I can get, you know, some glare. Trying to see.
They even darken the screen, it might pop up.
Let me see. That probably won't. Let me see. Will it show Bill?
Well, will it show?
Yeah. That's it right there. That's Jim Thorpe. And what you can see, it's a picture of him. Hold on. You know, it's a picture of him. He played basketball, he played football, he threw the discus, you know, he was a sprinter, you know, because there's a lot of historians like, you know, he was faster than Bolt, but they wasn't timing him like that, like they time him now, you know. But you see, like I say, he played football, and he was professional in everything. You know, you can plainly see, you know, he's a Gadite, you know, but this is Jim Thorpe, you know.
Yeah, man. You know, so once again, like the brother read earlier, the spirit beareth witness with our spirit. You see? Because you Edomites, you're not made of talent. You just got a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's all you got, man. You got, you know, you got that bag, you got the sword and deception. That's it. You know? That's it, man. But you know, we the people of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? You know, what you got, bro?
You
got Deuteronomy
33.
That's it.
Okay, come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 20. It says, "And of Gad he said, Blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion and teareth the arm with the crown of his head."
Right. Now it says, "And of Gad he said, Blessed be he that enlargeth Gad." Who enlarged Gad? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. Basically, Gad had the largest portion of land when they came over here to the Americas. You know, after the northern kingdom left that Assyrian captivity, they came over here to the Western Hemisphere. Okay? And they divided Arsareth among themselves. You know, each tribe had their portion, and Gad had the largest portion. You know, when you look at Canada, you know, Canada, Alaska, you know, North America. All right, that's a lot of land, man. Now, and also dealing with North America, you also had Reuben here, you had Issachar here, but the main tribe that dwelt in North America collectively was Gad. So blessed be he that enlarged of Gad. He dwelt as a lion, and a lion is known for having a lot of land. You look at those lions in the savannah, in different parts of Africa, but it says how read that. We tear at the arm.
This is Deuteronomy 33:20. It says, and of Gad he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion, and he teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
Right. Now, and that's two prophecies in itself. It says how he teareth the arm. Now, you can look up something that's called a blood covenant. It's called a blood covenant. Now, this is something that Gad used to do. All right, I'm going to read this real quick. It says, covenant in Hebrew means a cut where blood flows. Now it says the purpose of covenant was to create a binding agreement more powerful than a contract or agreement. This was to be forever. The lifespan of the participants. It was to be holy, sacred. To violate the covenant would mean death. The blood covenant was the ultimate insurance of loyalty and fidelity. There were variances of rituals, but the common base was a cut where the blood flows and the mingling of these two bloods by the cuts being rubbed against each other. All right. And they give you certain biblical examples of, men that made covenants between each other. David and Jonathan, they made an agreement. They didn't cut each other's, arms. All right. But they had a binding agreement showing you where Gad got that from in the spirit. They're Israelites, man. Now, when you read on the next page, which I'm not even sure if this article is up, I can give you the link. But, Esau, he was taking these things down, man. This is from like 2015. All right. Now, the next page, it says, under rite and ritual, the process always involves a cut where blood flows. The American Indians would cut the thumb and join thumbs together to make blood brothers. In the East, most often the cut will be somewhere on the forearm. Read that part again, bro.
It's a Deuteronomy 33 and 20, and it says, and of Gad he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion and teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
Teareth the arm. All right. It says in the East, most often the cut will be somewhere on the forearm. In all cases, the cut would be in place where at a casual glance, you could see a scar that indicated the bearer was in covenant. There you have it, man. And you can only imagine the fury of our forefathers when Esau broke all them covenants with them. Because here it is, Gad was making blood covenants amongst each other. So the fact that Esau broke his covenants with them, broke these innumerable treaties, over 500 treaties when you look it up, man. Okay? But when you read this right here, it is speaking on separate prophecies, all right? Pertaining to Gad, he would have the largest portion of land, within the Americas, and tear off the arm going into how he would have a blood covenant. And then it says, with the crown of the head, which we have, this image for you again. You see this Gadite. He has a war bonnet on. This represents the crown of the head. Okay, so reading this real quick. This is on wikipedia.org. It says war bonnet. War bonnet. Just getting to the point. Feathered war bonnets, also called war bonnets or headdresses, are worn by Plains Indian men who have earned a place of great respect in their tribe. In the past, they were sometimes worn in battle. Okay, but it says, but today they are worn primarily for ceremonial occasions. They are seen as items of great spiritual and political importance. A crown. Mm-hmm. You want to speak on it?
Nah, yeah.
Now it says the eagle is considered by most Plains tribes as the greatest and most powerful of all birds, and thus plain style bonnets are usually made out of eagle feathers, and they had to earn them, you know. And this is spiritual because, see, like the brother had read, you know, a troop overcame Gad, but Gad would overcome at the last, at the end of days. At the end of whose days? The end of Esau's time.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
That eagle.
That eagle. So everybody, you know, hey, man, our people waking up, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, once again, I got to quote Elder Malcolm: "A manifest destiny has a part 2, and you seeing it with this brother's Gad. You know, we don't always speak on our tribes, who we are, and all that, but this brother's Gad. You know, we believe it through the Spirit, man. And a lot of you other brothers out there, you're Gad as well, okay, or Reuben. You know, but let's sit on that.
Okay, come. You want to transition to Reuben?
Yeah, we go to Reuben now.
Okay, come. All right. Now, if you remember the history when we was going into the land, all right, under Joshua, you know, we was conquering all those heathen kings, you know. So when we got near to our land right at the Jordan, you know, Gad and Reuben and the half a tribe of Manasseh, they had liked that land, you know, that was on the side of Jordan before they crossed over, you know, because Joshua, if you read the account, Joshua split the sea too, you know, for Israel to go over. It's not talked about as much as Moses, you know, but he did it too, you know. So, but Gad and Reuben, they stayed. Well, they went over to fight, but then they came back and settled, you know, in their land that was on the other side of Jordan. You know, Gad and Reuben was always kind of to themselves. This is Deuteronomy 29 and 7. It says, and when ye came unto this place, Sihon the king of Heshbon and Og the king of Bashan came out against us unto battle, and we smote them, and we took their land and gave it for an inheritance unto the Reubenites and to the Gadites and unto the half tribe of Manasseh. You know, so Reuben and Gad, you know, they always do up together. Even in Israel, you know, they was kind of separated from everyone else, you know, but they, you know, when there was time for war, they would come get Gad and Reuben and that half a tribe of Manasseh, you know, but then they would go back across the Jordan to their river, man, you know.
So they brought that same spirit over here to the Americas. That same spirit, because what do you have in North America? You have Gad and Reuben.
Yeah, you had Cuba right there.
Yep, and Manasseh ain't too far, but that's right. Yeah, right next to Florida. Oh, and Reuben in Florida. You see that? Come on, man.
Yep. All right, what you want? That Genesis 49, then.
Come on, bro.
Okay. All right. This is Genesis 49 and 3, and it says, Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch.
Right, and get the Hebrew word for Reuben.
Reuben,
okay. God, get it. Blue letter.
All right, the Hebrew word for Reuben, all right, is
Ra'abun.
Ra'abun, yep, Ra'abun, yep, Ra'abun. All right, and it says, behold a son.
Right, so behold a son, or see is a son.
Yeah.
You know, and you notice what we were speaking about it earlier with the tribe of Reuben. They have a big brother spirit, you know, overprotective. You know what I'm saying? Now, although, you know, because they had went off, well, not they, but Reuben himself, you know, the father of Reubenites, because he slept with his father's concubine. Basically, the right of firstborn was given unto Judah. You know what I'm saying? But that was all the spirit, how the Lord did it. You know, if you get spiritual about it, it was really just the Lord set everything in order. But with Reuben, you know, like I said, they have a big brother mentality. Because going back to you know, when Esau was oppressing, you know, Judah, you know what I'm saying, during slavery, you would have a lot of so-called runaway slaves. You know, a lot of Judites would run away from the plantations, and they would go to Reuben, and Reuben would take them in. They would shelter them. You know what I'm saying? So that's all in the spirit. All right. And it also helps keep that mingling going, or that scattering going, because ultimately, the Lord, he wants to throw Esau off. So yeah, Esau may look at a so-called Negro, or whom he thinks is a so-called Negro, but it actually be Reuben. Or vice versa. You'll look at somebody because they have so-called, Indian features, the strong cheekbones or high cheekbones, not so much facial hair, but that'll actually be Judah though. You know what I'm saying? But because of the intermarrying we had, one another, not to mention, Gad was doing that with Judah as well, but it was more so Reuben. Reuben really had just took Judah in like that. You know what I'm saying? During these times of war. But basically, the proof is right there, man. Okay? You go back to the prophecy. Did you have something else?
Yeah, I got that word for dignity, which in the Hebrew, all right, is sha'af, all right, which means elevation, exaltation, swelling, uprising, loftiness, swelling.
And that's the whole spirit of Reuben.
I think
you got
the main one that you can get, the main example you can use is Deion Sanders. Prime time.
Yeah, man.
He had that extra elevated ego. He's a Reubenite.
That's Reuben.
You see, they got that ego. I think they were saying like T.I. might be a Reubenite.
Yeah, I can see that.
He got that warlike, energy.
And the beautiful thing, that's like, wait, bro.
No, you got it, bro.
The beautiful thing about it, because these different locations the brothers naming, guess what? That's where Reuben was located at. Because Reuben was not only in Florida, man. Okay? And it was other names that Reuben went by besides Seminole. You know what I'm saying? Now you have what they call the 5 civilized tribes. We can get into that. But basically you have the Muskogee, which are the Creek. Basically, that was Reuben. When you look it up. Now, Gad is in there too. But for the most part, that's Reuben. When you get down to the nitty-gritty of it. You know what I'm saying? And going back to the spirit of Reuben, the excellency of dignity, just real outgoing, flamboyant, like Reuben on the scene, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And Reuben moves around. All right, they travel, you know what I'm saying? They spirit, But hey, man, this is our people, man. Okay? And for some of you brothers, hey, once again, you may think that Judah, hey, man, I'm going to say this first and foremost. This is not a tribal thing. All right? Just be grateful that we're Israelites, man. But you may be Reuben. Especially if you're in the South. I mean, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now, you search your family tree to the best of your ability. But it's a lot of Gad and a lot of Reuben in the South. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so it goes deeper than what we say. Well, I hate using the word black, but it goes deeper than color, man. You had dark-skinned Reubenites, light-skinned Reubenites. Same thing with Gad, and same thing with Judah. So it's deeper than color, man. Because the Lord, he's about variety, man. And I'm going to say this too. Although we speaking on Reuben, dealing with Gad, a lot of you damn niggas out there, I'm calling you niggas because you ain't right. Y'all want to say that Gad ain't the tribes because, Gad was putting, certain Negroes in slavery, certain so-called Negroes in slavery, enslaving their brothers. Well, hey, that's even in the history. We went into that before. After the kingdom was split, don't you know the tribes was warring? And we may get the actual account, but when you search into it, man, it came a point in time where the beef was so strong, you actually had, Jake from the northern kingdom put the southern kingdom in captivity, but the Lord sent the prophet out and cursed Jake out for that. Mm-hmm. And like, man, let your brothers go. You know what I'm saying? But just because they did it, that don't mean that they're not Israelites, man. What does Esau do? What is Esau infamous for doing? Divide and conquer. Look how we pin against each other right now. So you can't use that as a fucking excuse, man. The so-called black woman put us in slavery, man. Eve. Is she an Israelite?
To this day. Ain't you a slave to child support?
Yep.
Yeah. You a slave to this day. Because if you start working, child support keep going up.
Sure do. And they'll throw Jake in jail for that shit.
Yeah, so ain't you a slave to that? Is she not an Israelite?
Yep.
You know, Jake be simple.
Come on, bro.
You know, we got a few images.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Yeah, dealing with Reuben. You know, that dignity. You know, Reuben was a was big on apparel. You know, so just a couple of images. Let me turn it down. Yeah, we'll get a couple of images. You know, but Reuben had that royal, that dignity, that exalted look. You know, Gad was a little more, laid back, conservative. You know, but Reuben, had that spirit of being on the scene. You know, like the brother was saying.
Yeah, hey, it's all spiritual, man. And I got some thoughts about some brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of brothers, hey, Jay putting them outfits together, but you already know that's Reuben.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what Jake do. Even growing up, when we was in the world, you would see that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The way Jake would be matching, the color coordination, the color scheme with the outfits and everything, name brand. A lot of them Jakes was Reuben, man.
Yeah.
And the brothers showing them turbans too.
Yep. And Reuben had them turbans.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then you can see the border of blue. Our brother can see that border of blue at the bottom of the of the garment. You know, but Reuben stood out. You know,
that's a spiritual image, man.
Yep. We can get that one that do the running.
Come on, bro.
It's 33.
And also, we're gonna get some definitions for you brothers. You know, the definition for Seminole and also Muskogee. Okay, you got it, brother.
It's 6.
33 and 6.
Yeah, thank you. Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. This is on Deuteronomy 33 and 6. And it says, and let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few.
Because of all those different wars that they had. All right? With the American cavalry, And you had all these different things to spring forth. They were dealing with the 3 horns, because we had looked up, Muskogee and also Seminole on Wikipedia. And basically Esau had a very adamant hatred for the tribe of Reuben, man. And to be honest, going back to some research I did some years ago, they couldn't beat Reuben. You know what I'm saying? And they couldn't beat Gad either. It was time for us to go down, ultimately. But when you look at what they did with Reuben, basically Esau just had to agree. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to find a way to, find some type of mutual ground, but basically still trick Jake into being in slavery. But ultimately, Reuben couldn't be taken, man. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's all spiritual.
I got something for you too.
Oh yeah, you got it, bro.
You just said. It says on Google, it said the Seminoles are the only American Indian tribe never to sign a formal peace treaty with the United States. To celebrate this status, Florida State erected, unconquered, a statue of the chief Ashkali Masta outside the football stadium. So they weren't able to conquer him. It was just time for Reuben, to go down. It was time for us to go down.
You can't make it.
But here, bro, they couldn't conquer him.
Yeah.
Yep. Unstable as water, man. I'm gonna get that. This is from Britannica. All right, dealing with the Seminole. All right, the Seminole North American Indian tribe of Creek origin, who spoke.
Now it says dealing with the Seminole, they're a so-called North American Indian tribe of Creek origin. So remember, they were not only called Seminole, they were called Creek. So remember that part. You got it, bro.
And it says who speak a Muskogean language,
which is a dialect of Hebrew, a broken form of Hebrew. Look it up.
In the last half of the 18th century, migrants from the Creek towns of southern Georgia moved into northern Florida, the former territory of the Apache and Tumakua. Says by about 1775, these migrants had begun to be known under the name Seminole,
Yeah.
probably derived from the Creek word Seminole, meaning separatists or runaway.
And this is spiritual. Hey, going back to what the brother had read before, dealing with the tribes Gad, Reuben, and half tribe Manasseh, they basically dwelt by themselves. They were separate from the other tribes. They dwelt on the other side of Jordan, but also unstable as waters. You run away.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And, hey, they had that spirit when it came to Esau. They got away from Esau, but also they just like to move around, man.
Yep.
When you observe the tribe of Reuben, they're very nomadic. Now, as a nation of people, Jake will move around, all 12 tribes can be like that, but it's definite when it comes to Reuben. That's Reuben all day, man.
Gad Reuben gonna stretch out.
Yeah, Reuben gonna stretch out.
Yep. And then it says a separatist. Hey, cause it's cause you would think Reuben, like he bougie, but Reuben just, he just separate. That's his spirit.
It's a spirit.
He's the best brother ever, but he just don't engage into a lot of things. He just kind of to himself.
Yep.
And it says the name may have derived from the Spanish word Cimarron, which is wild.
Yeah. Hey, and on the Oxford, this website by Oxford, it says wild or untamed. Dealing with that same Spanish word, it means wild or untamed. Because I remember hearing the big bro Abba from Atlanta speak about it, because he had quoted the Elder Apostle Rakai, because Elder Apostle Rakai was describing to him one of the attributes of Reuben, the spirit of Reuben. You can't tame Reuben. Going back to this right here, it says wild, unstable as waters.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to what you said, they couldn't beat Reuben. Esau got wore out, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got it, bro.
And I got that word for unstable in the Hebrew, and it's pakats, all right, pakatza, and it's recklessness, wantonness, unbridled license, frothiness.
Right. Basically, when it comes to Reuben, the Lord cold, man. Reuben basically has that rebel spirit, but a lot of time you see it in righteousness. I mean, now with Reuben, you see in the world, they wicked, so they rebellious in wickedness, but just Reuben, they're real outgoing, man. Very outgoing. You know what I'm saying? But rebellious, in righteousness, man. That's the spirit the Lord gave them.
Mm-hmm. The word unbridled, it means uncontrolled, unconstrained.
You can't stop Reuben. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this with Reuben. Reuben is one of the tribes, which we all need counselors. But you notice with Reuben, like certain brothers that are Reubenites, they keep counselors around them. You know what I'm saying? Certain brothers, to help guide them, because with Reuben, it's like a light switch. If they get upset, you know what I'm saying? And it's not always the case, you know what I'm saying? But certain times, with a brother's spirit, hey, shit can get heated. You know what I'm saying? But that's a spirit. Every tribe has a spirit, When you read these scriptures, what it deals with these prophecies that break down the tribes, you're analyzing a spirit. You're reading about a spirit of a particular people, man. But it's just more proof these are the Israelites, you see? And a lot of Reubenites are fighters, When you look at a lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying? But the location the brother went into, it picked out Georgia and Florida, but also because after this, if you get Muskogee, yeah, on the Wikipedia.
Okay, come, all right.
Because the brother had read some of the locations, basically where Reuben dwelt, and it said Georgia and also Florida, but it didn't end there. Okay.
Let's read from top.
Come on, bro.
All right, it said Muskogee, also known as the Muskogee Creek, Muskogee Creek,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Muskogee Vike, or the Muskogee Creek Confederacy. All right, it says are a group of related indigenous people of the southeastern woodlands.
Southeastern woodlands. So the southeastern part of the United States. Okay. Now remember, the brother had read earlier how they were known as an American tribe of Creek Indians. When it speaks on the Seminole. Go ahead, bro.
It said their original homelands are in what now comprise southern Tennessee,
Southern Tennessee,
all of Alabama, West Georgia, and part of northern Florida.
There you have it. That's Reuben. That's Reuben. You know, and we speaking about the brothers from Alabama. A lot of those brothers are Reubenites. You know, head brother.
Yep.
But hey, a great portion of their camp is Reuben, basically. You know what I'm saying? But the brothers in Atlanta, brothers in Georgia, Reuben. You know what I'm saying? And then
Tennessee.
In Tennessee, certain brothers. But you keep reading, bro.
Okay, it said like the Cherokee in northeastern Alabama, most of the Muskogee people were forcibly removed by the federal government from their original lands in the 1830s during the Trail of Tears to Indian Territory, now Oklahoma. Some Muskogee fled European encroachment in 1797 and 1804 to establish two small tribal territories in Louisiana and Texas.
So you see, this is a scattering. Once again, a diaspora.
El
Ariala, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Are you scroll down a little bit, bro? We're gonna get a little bit more of it.
Come.
Yeah, this part here.
Which one?
What says the ancestors?
The ancestors. Okay, come. It said the ancestors of the Muskogee people were part of the Mississippian ideological, interaction sphere, also known as the Mississippi culture between A.D. 800 and A.D. 1600.
Now, for brothers that have been watching our videos throughout the years, some of us brothers, we were able to go to certain particular Indian mounds. You know what I'm saying? I was able to, go to one with the brothers in the Atlanta church, GMS Atlanta. And basically, we had went to two different locations. You know what I'm saying? 2 times or 2 different times. But basically, these are different sites that were made by Reuben. And not to say that Gad wasn't among them. All right. But and going back to Mississippi itself, you have certain mounds here, different Indian mounds here. Okay. Which I speculate a lot of these, were made by Gad, but also Reuben too. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's hard to separate. That's why scriptures say we know in part. But at the end of the day, these are Israelites, man. We're able to get what we need for edification's sake. You read down on it, bro. We're just gonna finish it off, and then you get that in Kings.
Come. All right. So reading on. Where was it? Okay, it says between A.D. 800 and A.D. 1600, they built complex cities and surrounding networks of satellite towns centered around massive earthwork mounds.
Earthwork mounds. Mm-hmm. So mounds made out of earth. Made from the earth.
Mm-hmm. And it says some of which have physical footprints larger than the Egyptian pyramids.
Larger than the Egyptian pyramids. And the question is, who built the Egyptian pyramids? The Israelites. We built for Pharaoh treasure cities. Those were pyramids, man. Okay? Same people built the mounds in the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, bro.
And it says, go back to it. It says some of which, had physical footprints larger than the Egyptian pyramids. Showing you that how did they even know how was it even in their spirit to formulate the pyramids?
Yep.
I want to get that. You know, because when you go to Exodus 1, all right, because remember all 12 tribes helped build the pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is Exodus 1 and 13. It says, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. It says, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage and mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All service where they made to serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives. I need to read. Okay, verse 11. Yep. Yeah. It said, therefore they set over them taskmaster and afflicted them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Python and Ramses. You know, so that building, all right, that building spirit, you know, really resonated with Jake, you know, in ancient Egypt. Mm-hmm. You know, because even the whole Northern Kingdom, especially, you know, they good at building, you know, any type of structure.
You look at Issachar.
Yeah, Issachar. You know, even going back to Central South America, they had the same pyramids.
Yeah.
How did they know their formula? Because see, part of our culture was to hand knowledge down through verbally hand down knowledge. You know, the father teaching the son. Mm-hmm. You know, so it was a lot of ancient wisdom when it came to, you know, the architecture, you know, of Gad and Reuben, you know, and also the Northern Kingdom, man.
And this is all spiritual because till this day, Esau Edom does not know how the Northern Kingdom built these mounds and built the pyramids in the Americas, and they still can't figure out how those pyramids were constructed in ancient Egypt, man. Till this day, Esau Edom does not have that science. And you notice with both situations in different periods of time, the pyramids in ancient Egypt, which is still over there, all right, and the earthwork mounds and the pyramids in the Americas, they want to attribute this building to so-called aliens.
Yeah,
you know, you don't want to say that we did it. Anyone and anything could have done it, but us. You know what I'm saying? But there you have it, man. So we know that Gad and Reuben, they built mounds. You know, they built mounds in the Americas, which are basically, you know, similar to pyramids. You know, it just made out of earth, but similar to how they built those pyramids out of, you know, brick and mortar. Mm-hmm. Very similar, man. And they mentioned, what's that? Itawa.
What is it?
Yeah, down there.
Oh, yep. Itawa Indian mounds. Yep, it said the Muskogee Creek are associated with mound centers such as Okmulch, Itawa Indian mounds, and Moundville sites. Mississippi Culture Society were based on organized agriculture, transcontinental trade, copper, metalwork, artisanship, hunting, and religion.
Right, hey, and that's a high level civilization, man. Although, you know, when you look at how Esau Edom displays our people, they were just over here without clothes on, living in teepees, you know. Nah, man, they lied to you. Jake was highly advanced. You know, highly advanced, bro. It was Esau's time to take us down. But some of the mounds, you know, the brother had read that they named, you know, the Itawa Indian mounds. You know, I had one with the brothers in the Atlanta church to those mounds. So we know what that's the proof right there that Reuben built that. Because brother was speculating it was Reuben, but you know, now we reading it, you know. I mean, I just learned this, man. The Spirit brought this out today, you know. So Reuben actually built that, you know, and they spoke on Cahokia, which I want to say is in Collinsville, Illinois, you know, but it's a part of that Mississippian culture of mound building, you know. Reuben was involved in that, you know, and Gad was too, but you see Reuben keeps coming up. So this shows you, once again, like the brother said, these two tribes, they dwelt amongst each other, man. You know, they was close, they were tight, man. All right. And you know what we see happening in the last days, man, the tribes are being brought back together, man. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's that same bond that we had in the ancient world, we getting that back, but in righteousness now. Mm-hmm. You know, not on some worldly ventures, you know, or some gang banging shit, or you know, a bunch of dumb shit. Jake is actually linking up in the spirit of Yahushua. Like, speak on, can you get that?
This is Genesis 49.
Yep, you already know.
All right, this is Genesis chapter 49. All right, verse 10. It says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
This is happening right now. Happening right now. The brother spoke about it earlier, dealing with Gad, how Gad would overcome at the last, because you have 12,000 of Gad, and you have 12,000, from the other tribes, okay? And they're being gathered to Yahushua as we speak, man, okay? Being brought back, being gathered by the word, You got anything else?
I'm gonna get that. You want that heels then?
Oh yeah.
First Kings. All right. This is the book of First Kings chapter 3 verse 1. It says, and Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter and brought her into the city of David, until he made an end of building his own house, and the house of the Lord Yahweh by Shai, and the wall of Jerusalem round about. Only the people sacrificed in high places, because there was no house built unto the name of the Lord Yahweh by Shai until those days.
Bible Shai, can you get the definition of it? Remember, it said only the people sacrificed in high places, and this during the time period of King Solomon.
All right, it says a high place, a ridge, a height. It says a bama, a technical name for a cultic platform, and it says high place, mountain. I'm gonna go to the end. It says a funeral mound.
A mound, because what you see here in the Americas, in particular in North America, you have a lot of burial mounds or funeral mounds. It's the same thing. And it was a movie. I want to say it was a movie with Samuel L. Jackson. Damn. Is it Magnificent Seven? Is that what that movie? Damn, man. But it was a movie. It came out not too long ago. But I want to say Samuel L. was in it.
Oh, the Hateful Eight, Magnificent.
Is one of them.
Yeah.
But basically, it was a guy like speaking in the movie, or someone was referring to a custom that Gad had. They showed the sticks, and somebody was on top, and they said how these people, they don't believe in burying their dead underground. Going back to how we had those mounds. We would bury our dead above ground.
Even Yahushua, he was in the
sepulcher. Yep. That's it, bro. That's it. So a high place, it means a mound. And they gave you examples. It said a temple. So like a temple mound. Platform mounds. You see that in the Americas. You have certain ceremonial mounds. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And Gad and Reuben were making these. And not to mention, if you want to go into the other tribes, although we're not going to other tribes in this lesson, but when you bring up Issachar, and you bring up Zebulon, you bring up Asher. All right, they built those pyramids, another form of high places. Okay, and they were sacrificing. Now they were going off, being wicked. You know what I'm saying? But that's still proof that they're the Israelites, man. Okay. You got anything else, bro?
I go close with that Amos 9 and 11.
You break it down.
This is the book of Amos chapter 9 verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Yep.
So the house of David is all 12 tribes, man.
That's right.
So all the tribes, are coming back together, in the unity of Yahushua. You see, just as back in the ancient world when David, finally overcame the house of Saul, and all tribes gathered.
Hey, I gotta get that.
Yep.
Get that, bro. Man, it's a beautiful scripture, man.
Yep.
2 Samuel chapter 5 and verse 3.
Yep.
So all the elders of Israel, 2 Samuel 5 and 3. So all the elders of Israel came to the king, to Hebron, and King David made a league with them in Hebron before Yahweh. And they anointed David king over Israel.
King over all Israel. And that's why Yahushua sitting on the throne of David. That's over all Israel. Because King David, he was king of only Judah the first 7 years when he was king, and then the last 33 years he was king over all the tribes.
I'm gonna jump up to the top.
Yep.
2 Samuel 5:1. Then came all the tribes of Israel to David unto Hebron, and spake, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. Also in time past, when Saul was king over us, thou was he that led us out and brought us in Israel.
Yeah, because King David was the one winning all the wars. Like when you go into the expansion, of Israel, because you go to the time of Saul, it was a time where the military didn't even have weapons under Saul. It was just a startup as a kingdom. But under David, see, David was the one really spoiling those nations and expanding, the kingdom of Israel. So when David, overcame the house of Saul, the tribes, they gravitated to David, all tribes. You see, and that's what's happening now. The house of David is coming back together, and we're gathering to Yahweh Shai, because that's what's being lifted up, Yahweh Shai, because we're conquering Esau through Yahweh Shai. That house of David, it's a beautiful thing, man. Why the hell, here it is, you losing the war, but you want to argue about only blacks, is the tribes. No, man. They're my brothers, man. Issachar, that's our brothers, man. Zebulun, Asher, all tribes, North, Central, South America, the Native American, so-called Native American Indian, those are brothers, man. And we coming back together, man. You see? And like I say, you ain't got to believe it. You just going to be left here, man. You see? But all tribes is getting on them chariots and going back to Jerusalem, man.
That's right, brother.
Yeah.
Real quick, bro. Yeah. St. Luke chapter 1 and verse 31. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahweh Shai. He shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And Yahweh power shall give unto him the throne of his father David.
The throne of his father David, man. So just as all the tribes gravitate to David, all the tribes now are gravitating to Yahweh Shai. He's coming, all right, to be, all right, the ruler over all 12 tribes, man. As we rule over the heathens, man. You see, that's the importance of the throne of David. And
he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever.
He shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and that's going to fulfill the prophecies, all right, in 1 Samuel, the 7th chapter. How David would always have someone to sit on his throne. That covenant with kings that the Most High made with David. You see? So all 12 tribes play a part, man. And in the last time, we have the understanding, man. And like I said, this is for the hopeful elect to get. All right, all you naysayers, all you people want to go against the 12 tribes chart, and you black only Israelites. This ain't for you, man. The Most High sealed you up for destruction, man. But see, all 12 tribes, are going to come together, all right, in the unity of the doctrine of Yahweh Shai, man. Yeah, bro.
And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end.
There shall be no end. Fulfilling prophecy in 1 Samuel, man. All right, the 7th chapter. With 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter. That was it.
That's it, bro.
Bro.
Well, with that, our Barakazai, y'all were edified as we were, through the Holy Spirit, man. Hey, man, you brothers continue to keep pushing, stay strong. We almost home, man. You know what I'm saying? And with that, Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Bahasham. Rakah. Quadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone, still well. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Hey, stay strong, man, once again. All right, and with that, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Quadash, Abad, Babal.
This one recorded.
Damn, really?
Yeah, record the whole list.
Oh, then.